Online coaching is really easy, but the vast majority of people who try it fail. And that might make you feel a little bit silly, especially if you're confused on where to start, you've been trying to get online clients for a while, but it's just not working. I've got some good news for you. And this is going to sound a little bit strange. You won't have heard anybody say this to you before in this online coaching world. You probably won't hear another business mentor tell you this because it's such kind of unorthodox advice, but it is honestly the truth. If you were a little bit silly, if you were a little bit dumber than you currently are, you would actually have an easier time moving your business online. And I know this because I've worked with over 400 personal trainers over the past 4 years, helping them move their business online. And all love and respect to my clients, the people who get the fastest results are always the dumbest. And I know I sound so strange, but the dumber they are, the less they think. The less they think, the more they act. The more they act, the more results they get. And I'm not here just to tell you that you need to take action because I know that you know that. I want you to leave this video today knowing exactly what it is that you need to focus on in your business with absolute clarity. That's what this channel is about. It's about reducing your overwhelm, stress, and confusion around starting your online coaching business and helping you actually move online with a clear, simple, lean path. So there are 3 things that we've got to focus on, and I'm going to talk about what they are towards the end of this video so that you can kind of pick which one you need to go and work on in your specific situation. But the reason why it's important to break it down to these 3 steps is because if you don't, you're going to make yourself sick with stress. And I'm talking from experience here because when I first started out, I literally would start a work block, get so overwhelmed and confused to the point of getting migraines, to the point of one time I literally threw up in the toilet. I had to leave my desk, go to the bathroom and be sick about overstress and overwhelm and overstimulation and just this like cognitive dissonance and this just, it's so, like you probably know how it feels if you're like in this position at the moment. And I don't want you to get to the point where you're literally throwing up to figure this out. Anyway, let's just talk about these 3 things that we've got to focus on. Now, disclaimer, you will have heard these 3 things before. Like in your brain, these things will already be apparent, but I'm going to explain it in a really like concise way so that we can actually go and take action on something within your business and move things forward. So the 3 steps are, first, we have to get new people to discover who you are and what you do. You've got to grow your audience. That's step number 1, audience growth. Number 2 is audience conversion. You've got to make sure that you can turn those people into clients. Step number 3 is getting those people fantastic results. Anything, and I know that you might be rolling your eyes thinking, yeah, I know that I need to do those things, but like, how do I do them? I'm going to explain that. Anything outside of those, anything outside of these 3 things is a complete and utter waste of time. And it is likely the exact thing that's holding your coaching business back from actually seeing the growth that you want it to see. Most people that I see fail in online coaching, it's because they're focusing on something that doesn't involve one of those 3 steps, because that's all that matters. So let's break it down. I want you to understand and figure out, okay, for you and your situation, what should you go and work on out of those 3 and how should you go about doing so once you click off this video? So let's say, for example, we're starting from complete scratch and you're thinking, right, well, I want to grow my audience, but what are the first steps? Now, there's a little bit of a problem that comes into this because if you don't know your niche or you don't know who you're going to work with, you don't know what you're actually going to help them do, then you don't know who you're going to attract as your audience. So you've got to figure that out first. Now, I'm not going to talk about that so much in this video because I've got another video which I'll link in the description which is about that, where I go really in depth on how to figure out who you're going to work with, but you've got to have that in place first. Now, moving into actually getting new eyeballs on you and growing your audience, there are only 3 things that you can actually do online in order to make that happen. And anybody that tells you differently, they're just packaging one of these methods up in a particular way to make you buy their business coaching program. And I know this because I've spent literally over £100,000 over the past 10 years of being an online coach in online coaching business mentorship programs. So please, please, please don't buy into the like bullshit that people will try to sell you. These are the only 3 things that you can do to grow an online, to grow your audience as an online coach. So you've got posting content, duh. Things like this, posting reels, posting TikToks. You've got running ads. You've got paying to get those posts out to more people who are not in your audience. You've also got one-on-one outbound. And when I say that, people go, cold DMs, oh my God, I've got to send cold DMs. Now, here's the harsh truth that like business mentors will not tell you because they want you to buy into their business coaching program. They want to make it seem like it's really easy and frictionless. But the truth of it is, if you don't have money for ads and you suck at content, then the only other option that you've got is to do one-on-one outbound to people to like manually notify them of your existence and what it is that you do. And I'm not saying that to like dishearten you. I'm not saying that to make you buy into my course. And if anything, that's going to not want to make you start an online coaching business and do this, because it obviously isn't very fun to have to one-on-one outreach to people. But I'm saying that because it's the fucking truth. I'm saying that because, like, I've searched and searched and searched. I've paid thousands and thousands of pounds to try and find different methods of like growing your audience and all these special tactics. I've bought into all the bundles and funnels and everything. Nothing else exists. There's nothing else out there. Like it's impossible. It's like telling somebody who wants to lose weight, or it's like somebody who wants to lose weight trying to search for a different way to actually drop the pounds, when in reality, they just have to be in a calorie deficit. They have to eat less and move more. It's the same with growing your audience. You have to post content, reach out to people, or run ads. That's it, right? So now that we understand that, you can kind of start to figure out, right, what is it that I'm going to do? Now, it's not all doom and gloom. I'm not saying that you're just going to have to reach out to people for the rest of your life and it's going to be this horrible, like, you know, one-on-one outreach grind forever, and you're going to be a door-to-door salesman if you're going to be an online coach. No, that's absolutely not the case. We want to make sure that your content systems are set up in a way to the point where you do get more inbound leads, to the point where you do get people following you. So ideally, the highest leverage task that you can possibly do is get good at organic content. And I know that that's such a broad term. In this video, I don't have time to explain to you how to get good at organic content, but go and see what's working on Instagram. And here's my number one advice. And again, this is probably going to save you at least £5,000, because a lot of the viral content coaching programs are about that price. And pretty much all they'll tell you to do is to go and find content that's working, steal it and make it your own. Not like literally steal the same video, but go and recreate content that's already working. And that's genuinely what you need to do. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in other videos. If you want more advice on that, then subscribe to the channel and we'll definitely jump into it. But let's move on to the next step, because maybe you already have the audience, right? Maybe you've already got people that know who you are and you're like, okay, well, actually, I have 2,000 followers, but I just don't know how to convert people to clients. Now, in the early stages, we want to be focused on 3 steps. We've got content, conversations, calls. So we want our content to lead people into DMs, those DM conversations to lead into phone calls. And on the phone calls, you've got to turn people into clients. Now, the reason that we want to do this, instead of having just like a website that somebody could go and click on and just buy your program straight away, the reason that we take people onto calls is because that way you actually start to gather market data and you actually start to get an understanding of the people that you're going to be working with on a deeper level. And that allows you to feed that marketing and that data back into your content, back into your sales process, and it's going to make things more effective in the long run. So having this process is really, really, really important for multiple reasons, but it's also going to be the quickest, most guaranteed, most efficient way to actually get money into your bank account from being an online coach. So if you've got that audience, you now need to start making content that leads people into conversations, and you're probably thinking, well, what the flip does that mean? Well, put it this way, you can create opportunities every single day to start conversations with people. You could post lead magnets or free guides. You could post like a poll on your story asking people what they're struggling with, right? And then the people that vote, you could reach out to those people and start conversations. You've got to get creative with it. That's the truth. You've got to get creative with how you present those conversation opportunities to your audience so that you can have those conversations. After that, once we've actually got people on calls and we turn them to clients, we're now focused on delivery. So let's say, for example, getting clients is no problem for you. We've got to make sure that your delivery doesn't become a bottleneck. So again, guys, this is about identifying what is the bottleneck of the business? What is the point of the business that I'm struggling with? So to give you a really clear idea of what you need to go and focus on now, pick which one you're struggling with, or pick which one is stopping the business from growing. If you don't have audience members, you can't convert clients, you can't work on delivery. If you have audience members, but you're not converting, then you need to focus on converting. If you are converting and you've got clients, then you need to focus on making sure they get fantastic results so that you can get things like referrals, testimonials, and the business can grow further. But that is literally it. Pick one of those 3 and go and work on that. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next.